Good morning, everybody. How you all doing? This is Vega here for SerpentX Special Forces, a live stream that we normally do every Saturday morning. Sometimes I might have a special guest, sometimes I won't, but it is okay. We're going solo today. Hope you all doing well. Got my usual toxic drink, NOS energy drink. NOS, I'm still looking for a sponsorship if you're into it. I know you only sponsor hardcore sports enthusiasts, but hit me up if you're interested. Savage Mind's in here, PCB Guy, Work Crow, Chan Coin, Max Voltage. Thank you guys for stopping by. Gonna chill for a minute, see what happens, see how everything goes. I also got something in the works. ASRock B550 Steel Legend. Yes, the final build will be going to my son, Joey, for his Christmas computer, but we're going to be testing out stuff like AMD Smart Access Memory, Rage Mode, stuff like that with the new AMD GPUs that come out in the future. But we'll get into all that later. First off, I want to mention something to everybody. Hashraptor and his family has been going through some really tough times, and there's a way that you guys can help him out if you guys are interested in it. Through the GoFundMe, we've already raised about $1,400. Also, there are some Bitcoin or cryptocurrency addresses, a way for you to share and help them out. If you're not familiar with the situation with Hashraptor, you know, it's a tough situation. It's not my story to tell. It's his story. I just wish him the best with everything. He does post updates on his Discord and his Twitter. And, you know, the 2020 has been a rough year. You know, he had his family go through tough times. My aunt passed away. I'm just ready for 2020 to be over, but if you are interested in helping out him and his family, I'll put the link in the description now, as well as in the live chat. Bear with me 1 second while I do that. GoFundMe. Hang on, Work Crow. I'll get to you in just a sec, bud. Alright, so the Hashraptor GoFundMe is in there. If you're interested in donating via cryptocurrency, there are ways to do that. From my understanding, they accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ravencoin, USDT, XRP. I can add that to the description right now. But on a more positive note, Doge Lord is hosting the SerpentX Special Forces merch. So if you're interested in getting into that and checking out some of the many collections that they have, I like the Urban Crypto. I do like the new shirts that they have, the athletic shirts. I gotta see it. This one right here. I like this one. That's pretty cool. It's like a e-sport shirt, basically. Other ways to support Hashraptor and his family. I'm adding the BTC and all the other donation addresses into my description of the channel right now. But if you're interested in some merch, SerpentX Special Forces merch is on here, as well as many other collections. I still need to come up with some new shirt designs, stuff like that. But there you go. All right, now that that's out of the way, shameless plugs. Mikkel, how are you doing? I'm sorry to be all loud in y'all's ears. How are you doing, sir? Good to have you. He's going through a rough time right now. Nothing too dramatic, but I hope everything gets squared away for him. Work Crow says, you remember my problem with the 5700 XT Red Dragon. I still have that problem. I don't have touch it. Alright. I'm guessing he doesn't know how to fix it. I'm mining on Windows. When I figure it out, it don't work on Hive OS. I'll let you know. So it works on Windows, but it doesn't work on Hive OS. I'm assuming it's still dark. I believe where Crypto Mikkel is at, There was an ice storm, snowstorm, whatever, and unfortunately it's cut power to a number of different individuals, and Crypto Mikel has been impacted by that. So I wish him the best. Like I said, 2020 has been a crazy year. Man, still no power. And I talked to him a few days ago. So this is like, what, 4 or 5 days now, Crypto Mikel, that you've been without power? I'm not sure what the delay is, too. I didn't do any pre-testing. And as you can see behind me, we got good old Lisa Sue doing her demonstration. You can't see the full thing, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Anyways, let's go through the usual process here. Bitcoin this morning went all the way up to 14K. And now we're sitting at that 13.7 mark. So we got pushed back or held down or whatever you want to call it. But we got all the way up to 14 something, 14, yeah, almost 14.1K. And we have since been pushed back down. We're probably going to retrace back down to the usual area. Coin 360 is a little bit ahead or behind. I don't know. They're not syncing up, at least not with what I got. So we hope that we can maintain this uptrend. I mean, if you zoom out, we hope that we can maintain this uptrend, but we'll have to see how things pan out. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, a lot of people are looking for December to be bearish. Why? Well, every December, holiday comes, people usually sell off their assets and stuff like that in order to, pay for bills. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Also, if you could let me know in the live chat, how's the audio? Because I got multiple fans on around me. It's very cool here in Florida. So rather than running the AC, I got the airflow. I got a fan bringing air in and then a fan exhausting air. So I just want you to let me know if the fans are being picked up a lot more than my voice in chat if you can, live stream. Yeah, unfortunately without power, you can't hash away. Alright, so positive stuff. I like to surround myself with positive people, positive thoughts, and positive situations. Usually when a situation turns negative, I like to focus on the positive aspect, even if it looks very bleak. So positive news. Awesome Interactive. NFT artworks effects shows effects of sponsored kids. So check this out. A former baseball player has created a non-fungible token, NFT, time-sensitive artwork piece that allows crypto holders to donate Bitcoin to enable 2 African-American boys to fulfill their dreams. That's pretty sweet. And it went on. It would be available. The artwork would be available on October 29th. Each year on the boys' respective birthdays, a BTC QR code will appear directing all NFT holders to make a Bitcoin happy birthday contribution to help them achieve what they want to be when they grow up. And this is the actual picture. It's pretty cool. Alright, so NFTs is a growing space. I've heard a number of different people who've posted artwork and actually made a decent amount off of their artwork, and they're being recognized for their unique artistic skills. So I think that's pretty legit. The project states that it will store all BTC donations in a hardware wallet as well as a paper wallet and deliver them to the boys on their 18th birthday, roughly 11 years from now. Their images will disappear from the NFT at the time as well. So the picture of the 2 boys right here will disappear from the NFT when they turn 18. And it represents their dreams being fulfilled. I think that's really sweet. That's really sweet. That's pretty cool. Additional information of all these articles in this live stream will be posted in the description below. See what everybody's saying. Got a lot of articles to go through, and then we're going to talk about AMD hardware. That's what we normally do. We talk about crypto, we talk about hardware, we talk about whatever we want, because this is Caffeine and Crypto, name of the show. No Savage Mind with me today, no Crypto Mikel. Yeah, Crypto Mikel, that AMD though, man. Bitcoin investing interest up 19% compared to 2019, as Grayscale reports. We know Bitcoin interest has been growing, obviously. Super growth, man. I'm not sure how many of you picked up at these lower levels, but even my sister, who picked up at the high range of 12K, is now in the green. And there was a very small group of people that picked up at those previous highs that had to wait for, I guess, a year or some change since the last all-time high to actually, be in the green again. So crypto investing from Grayscale recently released in 2020 Bitcoin investor study. The report used data from a survey which digitally polled a sizable number of individuals in the U.S. between June and July. Grayscale found that the majority of the surveyed people were keen on buying Bitcoin. In 2020, more than half, 55% of the survey respondents expressed interest in Bitcoin investment products. Grayscale, in its October 2020 report, this marks a significant increase from the 36% of investors who said they were interested in 2019. So 36 to 55%. That's a decent jump. Bitcoin is becoming a more common name, a more commonplace topic to talk about at the house. Family members are asking questions. This is good. This is what we want. We want to see growth in the cryptocurrency space, and Bitcoin is the name brand, I guess you could say, of cryptocurrency. The firm asked 1,000 U.S. persons about their Bitcoin investment interest or lack thereof. The digital poll group ranged from 25 to 64, so that covers our group, our age bracket, with a minimum household earnings of $50,000 and a minimum of $10,000 in capital at their exposure for investment. Similarly, Grayscale's 2019 data from 1,100 Americans polled in March and April in 2019 under the same monetary and age parameters. Among those who reported investing in Bitcoin, 83% have made investments within the last year, indicating that digital currencies are an increasing attractive component of modern investment portfolios. This year, 62% of investors reported that they are familiar with Bitcoin compared to 53% in 2019. In addition, nearly half of those surveyed, predicted that digital currencies will be regarded as mainstream by the end of the current decade. So, that's good. Cryptocurrency is acknowledged as a form of wealth to these people. And so they're accumulating it. They're investing in it. We're mining it. So it's going to continue to grow, but how far is it going to grow is a good question. I do believe that there's going to be a downturn in December, but how big of a downturn is the question. So if I were you and you wanted to sell some of your hard-earned mined crypto to pay for a hardware part or bills or whatever, I would suggest doing that soon, okay? Just not financial advice, just a personal recommendation, which is going against a non-financial advice thing. But I'm just saying, okay? I may do it myself to help pay for the hardware that I'm going to get. Bitcoin just 4 days away from a historical bullish 10K price record. If Bitcoin stays above 10,000 by the day of the U.S. elections, history suggests that $100,000 is next. May not be like next, like the next week, like after. It's gonna be a while before, but that's the eventually the level that we may get to. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I can see a $30,000 or $40,000 Bitcoin, but I think $100,000 is quite a ways away. So how's everybody doing in chat? I mean, everybody's wishing Crypto Mikkel, the best. Hopefully he gets power soon in his area and his town or city, wherever, how big the impact is. But how is everybody doing today? It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. Savage Mind, go and open your windows, man. It's beautiful. It was 64 degrees this morning. I got a notification here to mention the Hashraptor support, which I talked about during the beginning of the stream. Just to go over it, basically look in the description of this video and you'll see a number of ways that you guys can help support Hashraptor, because his family can use the support the mining and crypto community provides. But Bitcoin has spent nearly 100 days over this $10,000 mark, and if history repeats itself, further price gains could be astronomical. As noted by various social media users, this week, as of October 30th, Bitcoin was just 5 days away from trading above the $10,000 mark for 100 days. According to data from analytics firm Coinmetrics, compiled by Twitter user Julio Monero, I think it's Monero. Moreno, not the cryptocurrency. After trading above certain price points, specifically for 100 days, Bitcoin subsequently gained by an order of magnitude. For example, after staying above the $10 mark for 100 days, it took just 122 days for Bitcoin to reach $100. After cracking 100 days above the $100 mark, $1,000 was able to be hit within just 2 days, which is quite awesome. So if we can sustain, we really need to stay or break the 13.8K mark by the end of today. And if we can sustain that to Monday, that would be even better. But that 13.8 and that 14K barrier just seems to be just a huge wall that we don't want to break here. Vitalik Mybuterin is chilling here in Florida with the windows open also. Sweet. We got 2 Floridians here. One in the live stream and 2 in the live chat. Yeah, man. I only lived in Florida since 1996. I wasn't born and raised here. I was born and raised in New York City, the Bronx. And moved down here in 96 and haven't, I traveled around and I lived in various places like Kentucky, Ohio, but for me, being a Puerto Rican, I gotta be by the water. I can't be landlocked. I do love surfing, I do love skateboarding. A little personal information, a little bio on me. My knees ache now from all the skateboarding hits that I took, but it was definitely, I'm definitely a water person. I do want to go snowboarding. I got to go up north to see our boys and go snowboarding. Max Voltage is debating on selling some of his Bitcoin before and buy back on a possible dip, or just sell about 10 days after the election or before the election. Boricua. Yeah, Vitalik Mybuterin. Yes. That's right. Good stuff, man. Another Puerto Rican. So, Max, going back to your question, yes and no. People are suspecting, and I don't want to talk about political information on this channel because I'm not an analyst, I'm not an expert in that particular area, but I do suspect that after the election, and even just throughout December, the Bitcoin will go down. It will come back up in Q1 of 2021, but it will go down. So it's just about timing it just right? If we're able to hit that 14.2K and we're going to be getting pulled back because that's a huge resistance level, then you might sell at that point and then pick back up at, 13.6. Or if we know that it's going to go down even further, picking back up at 12K, 11K, whatever it goes down to. But nobody can predict when that's going to happen. Right now, we know, if you pay attention to Whale Alert in a number of different places, right now we know a lot of the big guys are moving their money around. And so if we pay attention to when they're moving their money, whether it's going from one exchange to another, or a wallet to an exchange, and you think they're going to make a move based on the U.S. elections, right? Because the whole world is impacted by the U.S. elections. That's something we need to be aware of. And that's why our vote here in the United States is important. If you don't get out and vote, in my personal opinion, I don't want to hear you complain. You can't complain about your leaders if you're not voting. So vote. Get out there and vote your opinion or your choice on your local, state, and federal personnel or leaders. You got to. It's important. That's why I'm teaching my kids right now. It's very important that you pay attention to what's going on in the political atmosphere, because you have to make a decision based upon that. You know, I don't want to vote somebody that's a corrupt individual into my local, state, and federal positions. You know, I want them to do what's best for me as, you know, we the people. So it's going to have an impact, because they're afraid, some people are afraid that after the elections, either one of them is going to print more money, which is going to devalue or debase the US dollar, and it's just going to cause more issues. So more people are going to flood to stock slash cryptocurrency. But as I mentioned before, I don't want the stock market or traditional stocks to be correlated with Bitcoin. I want them to be two separate things. If stocks go down or up, I don't care. I want cryptocurrency to form its own wave. But because a lot of the traders that are in the traditional stocks are also in cryptocurrencies, when you see them taking a hit in stocks, they might move their funds, or I'm not sure what they do, but you could see that the funds in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency will drop as well, because maybe they're reallocating or whatever it might be. But at this current moment, Bitcoin has held above the 10K mark for 90 days now, currently 30% higher than its key level. This is the longest period in history. Analytics resource The TIE reported as part of the latest edition of its weekly Insight newsletter on Monday. The second largest period was back in December of 2017 when BTC surpassed 10K for the first time, just days before it increased by 79% to set its all-time high of 20K. Third was August 2019 when Bitcoin traded within a 20% range for nearly 4 months. Now let's look at this chart here. Bitcoin price leap indicator. Days it took for Bitcoin price to reach 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000 after 100 consecutive days above a specific level. So, if we are about 5 days, or the presidential election, which is now at time of filming, 3 days away. If we are 3 days away from the 100 consecutive days, and we would stay above the 10K mark, which I believe we will, look at the numbers. It took 122 days for it to reach 100 from $10. It took 2 days to jump from $100 to $1,000, but I think we can just omit that one. And it took 150 days to go from 1,000 to 10,000. But again, I'm not sure if that data can be as good because of how the market was reacting to what was going on. So 136 days. 136 days. So let's just say 140. 140 days will put us in Q1 of 2021. So Q1 of 2021 would be, if we sustain this level, we're gonna dip down, yes, but we might be able to get to. I don't think we're gonna get to $100,000, but we're definitely gonna see a resurgence of some type. Also, another interesting fact is that the difficulty adjustment is on the election day. So keep that in the back of your mind. The difficulty adjustment is on November 3rd. And the difficulty adjustment is set to reduce huge fees. What's up, Crypto Noob? Thank you for joining me. To beat the top, BTC USD must hit 13.890 by the end of tonight. November 3rd, meanwhile, also forms the date of the 2020 U.S. presidential elections as an event whose outcome is widely tipped to have an immediate impact on macro markets. Tuesday will also see a difficulty readjustment for Bitcoin, currently estimated at 10.4% down, the largest such downward move since late March, as Cointelegraph reported. So the third is going to be a very important day for the entire world, the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin as a whole. So we got to keep an eye on that date. More importantly, I want to see Bitcoin break that level of 13,890 by the end of tonight. And we're not too far off right now. Even if we pull back a little bit more, that would only be a 0.75 or 1% move, which Bitcoin can easily do. So hopefully we can see that tonight. And in either way, as long as we stay above the 10K mark for the consecutive 100 days on November 3rd, that's still a positive indicator as to what Bitcoin's going to do. Moving on. This is pretty interesting to me because I'm somebody, anybody in live chat, trade or do like traditional stocks, invest in traditional stocks, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, anything. Let me know in live chat. I'm interested to see. You don't have to tell me what you're doing. I just want to know if you do not only participate in cryptocurrency markets, but participate in traditional stocks. Because a lot of people that are in cryptocurrency, at least those purists and a select few, are like, no, traditional stocks is the reason why Bitcoin was created in the first place. The financial institutions lost, so therefore I'm not going to participate in it. But if you can make money, go for it. I do participate in traditional stocks, but I'm not big into it. I would say that only makes a very small portion of my portfolio. You guys are not chatting today. This is why I like having guests like Savage Mind and Crypto Mikkel on, because you guys are too quiet when I go solo. So I'll just keep reading to you guys, and we can discuss thoughts. Crypto derivatives exchange FTX has launched a novel way to trade the world's most popular stocks. Announced Thursday, users of the exchange are now able to register to trade on over 12 equity and cryptocurrency pairs via the platform's fractional stocks offering, and what FTX is calling a first-of-its-kind product. The additions means users can begin trading high-demand stocks like Tesla, Apple, and Amazon, represented by tokens against BTC, stablecoins, and more. That's cool. Here's the bad thing. Traders in the US and FTX's other restricted jurisdictions will not be eligible to trade in the products. So we can't participate here in the US. But I still think that's pretty cool. To trade Bitcoin for Tesla, when Tesla's pumping because they got the Tesla truck coming out soon, or vice versa. Elon Musk says something crazy online, and we know that's going to tank the Tesla stocks. We sell the high, buy back the dip, get some Tesla stocks. I think that's pretty cool. These products demonstrate a powerful future in which assets are digitized and traders have unlimited creative potential to express their beliefs about the markets, says the CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried. To facilitate liquidity, the tokens represent a fraction of one share, small piece, meaning traders will be able to trade half of their share at a time if they want. These fractional stock products reflect the reality that today's traders are industry and sector spanning and want trading opportunities that fully match their interests and mindset. That's one of the things I mentioned on Twitter not too long ago, was the banks are falling behind, right? So banks, not to name anybody, are wanting to charge you for having to hold your money on their accounts. And investment opportunities are available to where if you put your money in these type of accounts, they will actually pay you interest on it. So kind of like I tell my boys, if you're going for a job, it's not you fighting for a job, it's the job fighting for you. If you think about it that way and you position yourself in a way for, I would be an asset to your company, and not go to the interview like, you know, looking disheveled and begging for that spot. You know, it's kind of the same concept to me with this particular case, where banks need to incentivize users to keep their money on their platforms, but they're not doing so well. There are some banks that are trying to make like different programs and stuff like that. Like if you do open up a checkings account at one, you might get $100 if you spend $500, $300, whatever. But certain applications allow us to earn interest just by holding our money on those platforms, and to me, that's a significant incentive. Speaking of banks, JPMorgan. Let's talk about this in a second. Let me check. You guys are just talking back and forth. Got some people cleaning. Got some people talking. You know, this could be a talking head video, as Jay's 2 cents says. You know, I talk to you guys, read some news to you. You get your weekly updated crypto news, and then you guys continue what you want to do. What's up, Gundy? Thank you for stopping by. You trying to solo mine ETH right now, Chancoin? Or is that what you've been doing? He says solo mine ETH is hard AF at this moment. I would say FA, but this is a monetized video in which I do not want to get a hit on for using curse words. We do not curse this channel, except for when Savage Mine and Crypto McKill are on. JPMorgan's JPM coin is live. Investment banking giant JPMorgan is about to see the first commercial transactions with its own cryptocurrency, JPM coin. According to its report from CNBC Tuesday, Takis, JPMorgan's global head of wholesale, said a major tech firm will use a token to make global payments starting this week. The executive says, "We are launching Onyx because we believe we are shifting to a period of commercialization of those technologies, moving from research and development to something that can become a real business." And here's the tweet that they have here. JPMorgan creates a new division, Onyx, focus on blockchain, and the JPM coin is live. The 400 bank network, Link with 2 eyes, has a new live app to confirm account info before payments to prevent fraud. JPMorgan is focusing on the wholesale payments business, where removing inefficiencies can save the banking industry's hundreds of millions of dollars a year. First revealed on February 2019, JPM starts trials of JPM coin last summer, or started trials. The token was designed to speed up transactions, such as payments between firms or bond transactions. This is significant only because banks, governments, countries are starting to get into blockchain and utilize those blockchains. To me, that's just another avenue in which somebody can be immersed into cryptocurrency. And once they start identifying the different cryptocurrencies and their various projects and the capabilities of these projects, then they might want to go a little bit further. They're not just going to stay with their JPM coin or whatever. They're going to be like, okay, well, Ethereum's got DApps and ERC20, and I can do this and I can do that. NFTs, the whole 9 yards. It's just a matter of introduction into the crypto world, and then that's where it snowballs. So I can get about 360 mega hash mining ETH, and Crypto Noob says I only have 125 mega hash solo mining ETH. With my 360 mega hash, would you recommend I solo mine ETH, Crypto Noob? Because I believe realistically, if I had 500 mega hash or higher, I would be solo mining. But to me, if you're not 500 mega hash or higher, at least for ETH, various projects have various hash rates or total network hash rate, and the lower it is, the better you can solo mine. But the higher it is, it's harder when you're solo mining. So I could be wrong about that. Let me know if you would recommend with my measly 360 mega hash. Max voltage, do me a favor. In Discord, because I'm in there now, in our Discord, which I'm going to post a link to right now if anybody that's in the live chat wants to join, post that link to Dizzy Mining's hash rate. He says Dizzy Mining is showing the hash rate for the 3070 over 63 mega hash. Let's take a look at that now. Go ahead and send me the link in our Discord in the general chat of the SerpentX Special Forces. It was actually just called X Special Forces. If you guys are interested in joining the X Special Forces Discord, I am posting a link in the live chat. If you want to join, I will only post it in the live chat to try to mitigate any type of spammers, botters, stuff like that. So you have to be on the live stream to join. Eventually, I will open it up even further, but for now, we'll go from there. Chancoin says, if you have low latency and fast internet connection, sure, go solo ETH. And then Crypto Noob says, I use 2 crypto cow. 2 crypto cow. So he's talking about this website. Okay, so let's see here. Let me check something out. 1 second, guys. Interesting. That's about what I'm making a day. $10 a day. And it's about to go down, actually. Because today is the day we say goodbye to the 3080. The 3080 is going to a good home. I'm going to miss her. She did very well for the past couple of days. Nah. The 3080 and the NVIDIA series launch has really disappointed me. I'm not going to miss it too much. I got the data that I wanted. I shared with the community the hash rate, performance, and everything on our Reddit post. If you haven't checked that out, matter of fact, let's look it up real quick. And Crypto Noob, thank you for sharing this. I'll keep that added to my list of websites. I swear to God, Reddit posts some funny stuff. Look at this. Ryzen Intel. He's gonna slap him. I know this part. Intel GPU. 5900X. 5600X. Highest CPU score. Actually improved. No stock shortages. Bot avoidance. 6800 XT. Oh. What? PS5? Xbox? Big nap. Intel GPU. Slap. Any Radeon GPU. Bots trying to buy graphics cards. Bots trying to buy. It just keeps going. Subscribe button. Alright, let me go to the post that I was trying to show you guys. The data that I have for the RTX 3080. Usually when I get a new GPU, I will post it on Reddit, all the data and performance that I can get. Obviously, there's improvements with kernel optimizations with the minor devs. There's going to be improvements with the drivers, all that stuff. So this might be updated, but that's why I leave it open for the community to comment on it. And I think the moderators like to close my post out. So if you do come here just to get the data and you want to update something and it won't let you, check out Voscoin Talk. Voscoin has been really cool. We've been talking. I appreciate him letting me have the opportunity to post my data here, because Bitcoin Talk won't let me do it, as well as Reddit will sometimes, shut off a thread at a certain point once it gets so many views. But that's the base data, so the 3080 in my eyes. I will have 3 more videos coming out on the 3080. Ray tracing performance comparing against the 2080. I know it's not the 2080 Ti or the Super, but to me, the 2080 and the 3080 is a real good jump where we can gauge the generational improvement. And then airflow with the Founders Edition design in my main chassis, and comparing that against the 2080 and another card that you'll see in the video, and then another one with it on a mining rig, and the impacts that it will have, again, with the FE design. When it's an AIB open air airflow design, it's not going to be a big impact, but the Founders Edition does have an impact in my eyes. Not too much of one. It's really more or less TDP, the difference in TDP between the 2080 and the 3080. But nonetheless, I got 3 more videos on the 3080 coming out for you guys. Today it's going to a good home, and I'll leave it at that. That Reddit post was hilarious. I'm sorry to laugh in your guys' eyes, or eyes. I laughed in your eyes. I'm sorry to laugh loudly in your ears. Today, I don't even want to. I don't know. I got nothing. So, some of us have a ledger. I only have the Nano S, not the X, but it gets the job done. Convincing phishing attack targets Ledger hardware wallet users. Customers of the Ledger, the hardware cryptocurrency wallet, are being targeted by phishing attacks, posing as an email from Ledger support. On Sunday, a Reddit user posted, which we're going to go check it out right now, alerting the group of existence of an attack. And here's the email. I got this email, he says, and it reads like this. We regret to inform you that Ledger has experienced a security breach affecting approximately 85,000 of our customers, and the wallet associated with your email is within those affected by the breach, yada, yada, yada. Download this link and look at the link. Look at the link. It says ledgersupport.io. He might have changed it so nobody accidentally clicked on it, which is smart, because you don't want to post that. But a lot of people fell for it, or thought it was very convincing. They may have not fell for it, but it was very convincing. A fake email informs users that the Ledger assets may have been compromised, and states that our forensics team has found several of the Ledger Live administrator servers to be infected with malware. This claim is false. While the email form looks professional, it is a phishing attempt to steal customers' data. So I'm assuming it's a link, and then you fill out a form, and then they got your data. The email was so convincing that even wary users might be fooled. Ledger confirmed that for the last week, a phishing attack has been targeting Ledger cryptocurrency wallet customers. I did not get this email, but even if I got this email, I wouldn't listen to it. Why? Because the Ledger is cold storage, okay? Unless your computer gets compromised and you have your Ledger plugged into it 24/7, you should be fine. But if your computer gets compromised and you don't have your Ledger plugged into it, well, guess what? You got your keys, you go to another computer. You should just vet every email you get. Phishing attacks are going to increase, people, okay? Why? Well, people are unemployed now. And there's various revenue streams for people to make money that are unemployed by scamming, phishing, or various attacks to gain assets that you might have, whether it's fiat or crypto. So just be careful. Vet everything. If it's not from a trusted source and this email has weird links, 9 times out of 10, if you look right now on my screen, if I mouse over this link, in the bottom left-hand corner, wherever you can see it, is the link. It shows you what the link is. And if you got an email from your financial institution, but the link says bobsburger.io, clearly it has nothing to do with your financial institution, and it's the phishing email. Just pay attention. I know you guys in live chat are smart and won't fall for stuff like that. But somebody quoted here, the Reddit user. I received the same email, and for once I really got confused, or I got really confused. Everything checks out. However, there you can see that the URL is incorrect. Notice that the dot on the second E, ledger, is what triggered my doubt that I received the email twice within a couple of minutes. It's probably related to a previous hack where a hacker managed to get our email addresses, right? If we sign up with the Ledger website and order our Ledger, that's our email. And once they got our email, then they can spam it. And spamming is becoming a big problem right now. Even the political atmosphere. I'm getting multiple calls and multiple emails. Hey, I'm Judy. Hey, I'm Teddy. Hey, I'm Debbie. Hey, I'm this. Hey, I'm that. You know, vote this, vote that. This is why you should do this. This is why you should do that. You know, vote no on this. And it's because our data is public. Our emails, our phone numbers, all that stuff is public, and you can easily obtain information on an individual really quickly. Another user replied, "Wow, this looked legit. So much that I use contact us form to ask Ledger if it was real. I am normally pretty good at sniffing things like this out. This was by far the most convincing attempt I've ever seen." The roots of this phishing attack: in July, the Ledger team discovered an API key related to their e-commerce and marketing database was exploited. That's on their website, right? When they sell their ledgers. And the database accessed by an unauthorized third party. The database details, mostly email address, were used to send order confirmations and promotional emails. That's, you know, as soon as you signed up and you use your email, that database was compromised. CoinDesk independently reviewed one of these phishing emails, which was sent from support at Ledger. That's the key there. It's not Ledger, it's Ledger. But if you're reading it too quick, you won't pick up on it. A clue in any phishing email is a slight misspelling of the real address or URL instance. So the misspelling and typos inside an email was a very, very key indicator that something is fishy going on. I got a notification here for crypto.com. I got to update something. The investigation is ongoing at this time. We cannot give any additional information, but one thing is for sure, or for certain, Ledger will never ask you for your 24-word recovery phrase, which is a blatant sign of phishing scam. Ledger encourages customers to exercise caution as phishing attacks become more sophisticated, and to alert Ledger customer support team and consult Ledger for more information on the detection of scams. So just be very careful, guys. Double check. Read everything. Lisa Sue talking about the Ryzen, which I am super interested in as well. That's actually why this board... It's actually why I got this board. So if you haven't paid attention to the channel and you only join for the live streams, I ask you to please subscribe. But I got this board for two reasons. One, the Ryzen CPUs, the 5000 series Zen 3 CPUs, are not going to have support until 2021. The BIOS may not be updated to 2021. It really depends on the manufacturer. I have an Asus B450 Tough Gaming motherboard in my main media system that my other son David uses. It won't support the Zen 3 CPUs. So I got this. This is going to be Joey's computer, but there's a whole host of benefits, not only with Zen 3, but with the new Radeon GPUs coming out, where we can leverage smart access memory, which is where the CPU gets direct access to the GPU's memory. It's not going to help us in mining. Smart access and rage mode and various features is not going to help us in mining, but that's going to be a big benefit in gaming. Even with the 5600X. Yeah. So that's why I got this motherboard. I got the power supply. Got to get various parts. I'm going to be using an old case, but Joey's not going to be worried about that because it's still a good thermal take case. But I had to get a new motherboard because I don't want to wait for B450 or Asus to release a BIOS that we needed. And there's a specific BIOS you need. It's a GSUB version 1.0.8 or higher, or maybe they just go 1080 or higher. And the B450, X470 motherboards are not going to have that capability until January. So if you're like me, either you have to upgrade, and I have a video showing you, like, if you are new or getting into AMD, like you don't have a 400 series and you're looking at a 500 series, and those motherboards are going to have to be updated. Maybe after the launch, the manufacturers or the sellers, the retailers like Newegg and stuff like that will update the BIOS, but that's a catch-22, which I talk about all this in my video if you haven't checked it out. But the B450 and X470 series is just not going to cut it right now. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to be patient. Check out my video. There's a lot of good information in there if you're interested in getting an AMD system, or you have an AMD system but want to upgrade to Zen 3 or Ryzen 5000 series. All right. Anybody in live chat participate in the Uniswap at any point in time? I know a couple of us did. Anybody participate in the Uniswap or do something, swap something at Uniswap in the past? Max Voltage asks, but will Infinity Cash help with mining? Okay, more efficient CUs, higher frequency, same power levels, and an increase in real words. Yeah, it will. Because Infinity Cache, the GPU has more cache than traditional, or what it was in the past, or RDNA 1. So 2 times the bandwidth at lower power. So yes, Infinity Cache will help out for mining, but like other features like rage mode and smart access memory, not so much. Because 9 times out of 10, if you have a mining rig, and even if you put your RX 6000 series on there, you're probably running an Intel-based system because you got the ASRock Pro BTC or the Asus B250 motherboard, and they're using Intel CPUs. And even if you did have an AMD system that you're using, like the motherboard is an AMD system and you're mining with it and you got multiple cards, I don't think the riser cables or the USB, by one would be sufficient enough to leverage or utilize it. I don't think that will work at all, but Infinity Cache definitely will help you out. Robert Hawkins has an AMD system. Well, let me know if you do upgrade to the 5000 series and if AMD Smart Access Memory helps you out in some form or fashion, but I'm pretty sure as far as mining, that's not going to help us whatsoever. All right, anyways, let's go back to Uniswap. Let me check chat real quick. I use a 2 terabyte removable hard drive to store all my wallets and separate thumb drives and key files. Yeah, that's good. So I have the same thing in my closet. I only have a 1 terabyte, but I also have an internal 1 terabyte that I connect with an adapter, and then I have an external 1 terabyte that is connected via USB 3.1. And I always like to keep things safe and sound. So nobody used Uniswap, or at least in live chat, nobody's told me that they used Uniswap. The question I was going to ask is, should users who interacted with Uniswap through a third-party interface be entitled to free Uni tokens other users received on September 17th? Not everybody who participated in Uniswap received coins or tokens. The question at the center of the dispute currently taking place in Uniswap government's channels is the second ever proposal to come before the Uniswap community would distribute airdrop uni tokens to another 12,619 addresses ahead of the second proposal set for nearly 27,000 addresses. As of time of writing, over 20 million uni have been voted in favor for the proposal and more than 714,000 have been voted against. The vote closes on October 31st at roughly 8 a.m. UTC, so that was today. If both proposals succeed, however, an additional 15,679,200 uni will be distributed from the existing treasury, worth approximately 40.6 million at the current price of $2.59 per uni. Of that, 5,447,600 uni would be redistributed from the treasury in phase one. So certain applications like my Ether wallet and stuff like that, people like users in MetaMask and other users in I forgot all of the different wallets already got their payment on the 17th, but some other applications that users used on Uniswap did not receive those funds. And I believe on the day that they did it on the 17th, what they got was valued at $1,000 on the day of. Like if you got your uni and sold it the day of, that would have been $1,000 to you, which is pretty cool. So that's why it's cool to look in and keep your eyes open for these type of situations. You know, when a new project comes around, it looks promising, you do your research, the devs look good, the people are legit, it's not an exit scam type situation, and you can get into it and get your money out of it and just, you know, transfer it back to BTC, ETH, whatever you want, you could make a pretty penny off of it. In a Twitter thread, Uniswap founder Hayden Adams acknowledged the team was aware that some users feel left out. That's why Uniswap decided to leave future decisions about further distributions to uni holders, in part because it's hard to distinguish actual users from many bots who also use Uniswap as a remove. And bots are everywhere. Oh my goodness, I'm tired of bots. I'm so tired of bots. 3070 launch? Some people got it, but the websites froze all over again. So I was kind of upset. We got some good stuff to talk about today. I'm not going to cover this. It's going to be in the description. If you guys want to check this out, it's the market wrap for this past week of Bitcoin and Ethereum. The only thing of concern is the Ether options in December pile up. And the reason that's a concern is the amount of open interest on Ether options for December expiration hit $500,000 or 500,000, worth $195 million at press time as traders make bets on the dynamics of the Ethereum network. It looks like there is some strong ETH put buying going on in the year and mainly around the mid to 200s, he said. Indeed, data aggregator shows strikes amassing around the 200 to 280 price point. So that's why I said around December we might see a pullback, but that's also for all cryptocurrency. And they're expecting Ethereum, which is currently at $390 today, to go down into the 200s, which is unfortunate because Ethereum is the most profitable coin to mine as of right now. Ethereum or Ethereum Classic. So, yeah. I don't want to see Ethereum go back down because I'm enjoying this profitability. I really am. I mean, Ethereum Classic has been towards the top, like the top two coins to mine for multiple cards. AMD, Nvidia, doesn't matter. And I've been enjoying the profit, so we'll have to see. Today is Halloween. Merry Halloween, as Joey likes to say. And why did Satoshi choose Halloween to release the Bitcoin white paper? Well, we celebrate today the 12th year or anniversary of the Bitcoin white paper. Not Bitcoin itself, but the Bitcoin white paper. And Nathaniel Whitmore did a podcast on it, which is pretty interesting to me. I would challenge you to check it out. It will be in the description. Matter of fact, let me double check here. It should be in the description. No, it's not in the description. Let me add it real quick. It's a pretty neat podcast. If you got some time to listen to it, go for it. I could play it right now for you guys, but we got 1 hour to the end of the show before Red Panda Mining comes on, and I want to talk about what we're all here for, AMD. But it's I just want to say happy Halloween and happy anniversary to the Bitcoin white paper. Now this article right here, Elena Perez. First off, props for doing an article like this. Second off, live chat. I need you guys to pay attention with me on this. I want you to help me pick apart this article. See where improvements could be made, if there can be made. How to build a crypto mining rig in 2020 and earn Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's some key points that I highlighted, but let's discuss it. Savage Mind used Uniswap, so he answered my question. PCB guy sold 400 Uni at $4.60. Good job. Max Voltage can't wait for the 3070 Ti with GDDR6X memory. That's what he's saving up for. Alan, thank you for joining us. Sell all ETH, ETC, mine into BTC. Is that what you did, or is that what you're telling us to do? Vitalik, my butyrine. All right. So this article is also in the description if you want to check it out. I believe you pronounce her name Elena. Elena says here, mining rig components. A cryptocurrency mining rig consists of a computer that has many graphics cards but no monitor. First off, yeah, typically you don't have a monitor. I have a monitor on all of mine. Now, if you're a big operation, you may not, because you can monitor all of it through Hive OS or some form of program or otherwise. But some people, like Hashraptor, has the 7-inch monitor, a Raspberry Pi monitor that he can utilize to see where that rig's at if you're on Windows. Computer cases are filled with GPUs and a power generating unit. A motherboard and a cooling system. I think she meant power supply. Power generating unit. Yeah, power supply. If a monitor is connected, it can become a regular computer where a user can open a browser and play their favorite video game. The rig connected to the internet and thus the blockchain network. The network operates by itself to conduct monetary transactions using the power of the graphics cards. Not the power, but the compute performance, specifically. To be more specific, a mining rig consists of an ordinary motherboard. No, it's not ordinary. Yes, you can use an ordinary motherboard, right? So we got an ordinary motherboard with 2x16 slots, a couple by ones and stuff like that. Technically, you could use that to build a 7 to 8 card rig, or a 6 to 8 card rig. Like using a splitter. Like I have a U-bit splitter that takes 1 by 1 and splits it off into 4 USBs. Technically, yes, you can use an ordinary motherboard, but it doesn't typically consist. A mining rig does not typically consist of an ordinary motherboard. You get a mining motherboard. ASRock, Asus, H110, B250. All right. Anyways, a hard drive, which she takes care of this later. But a hard drive? Nah, fam. SSD. Platter hard drives will slow you down. The more loading you have to do, if you have to reboot your system, the less time you are up, the less time you're making money. Consisting with 100 to 250 gigabytes of memory. Memory? Why do people call it memory? Stop! Space, hard drive storage, hard drive space. Okay, 100 to 250 gigabytes. I did a video on this. 100 gigabytes not good enough. If your hard drive or SSD for your mining rig is less than 250, you're going to bump into issues, especially when you have to increase the virtual memory size. So 250 or higher. Not 100, not 250 or lower. 250 or higher. At least. And memory to house the cryptocurrency wallet? What? Why would you keep your wallet on your mining rig? No. That's bad. You wouldn't keep your cryptocurrency wallet on your rig. You would keep the mining programs and the software needed to overclock or underclock your GPUs on the rig, but not the wallet. With an Ether wallet usually taking up 25 gigabytes and BTC wallet taking up to 50 gigabytes. Several GPU cards which are the most important components in a rig because they are the base that defines the cryptocurrency that a user will mine along with their future profit as its timeline. 7 cards, no. Yes, you can have 7 cards, you can have 6 cards, you can have 4 cards, you can have 2 cards, you can have 19 cards as Bisbee, Tripp, and Carter has identified. But typically it's 6 to 8 cards. Why? Because that's what the mining rigs are set up for, 6 to 8 GPUs. A power generating unit, that word again. Come on, Miss Perez. Power supply. A rig with 4 GPUs often requires more than one power unit. Usually miners have a few 750 watt units connected together. Realistically, depends on the GPU, Elena. If you're running all AMD Radeon 7s, you might need two 1200 or two 1600 watt power supplies. But typically it's going to be 2 power supplies, either an ATX power supply with a server power supply or 2 ATX beefy power supplies. A power adapter for GPU cards. Video cards are connected to the motherboard using special extensions called risers. There are many different types and model of risers, but PCIe by 1 version 006 is popular. A power switch, a cooling system, is preferable to have several coolers to provide additional airflow. She's talking about fans. 120 millimeter fans. Let me check chat real quick because I'm going to have... All right. Thank you for getting back to me on that, by the way. Vitalik Mabuterin. I have ETC on Coinbase, waiting for 91K block transition so I can turn it into BTC. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Max Voltage. That's why I want Elena Perez. I might tag her and talk to her on Twitter. She could have worded this better or reached out to us in the community. Because if you want to know how to build a mining rig in 2020 or above, you got Red Panda Mining, you got Savage Mine, you got Voscoin, you got Bisbee Trippin', you got me. There's so many good content, cryptocurrency mining enthusiasts out there that provide great info. Hashraptor, Son of a Tech, like there's so many of us that provided good information out there. We're just not growing as big as we want to. At least some of us aren't. A couple of us have hit a good mark to where they can influence people and set positive examples. But there's all kinds of good information that she could have utilized for this article. Another important detail, she says, is the frame for the rig. It's better to make a frame out of wood or aluminum. The size of the mining rig will be slightly larger than the frame due to the protruding parts, adapters, and cooling system. For example, 7 GPU rig will be approximately 21 inches wide, 53 centimeters, 12 inches deep, 30 centimeters, and 12 inches high, 30 centimeters. It's either 6 or 8. That's really where you should be. Where is she getting the 7? Let's see here. So we split 1 by 1 to 4. So that's 4 cards. Then we got 2 buys, 16s. That's 6. And then depending on if the chipset or the CPU has enough PCIe lanes, we can still hit 8. I know the ASRock H81 BTC Pro revision 2 will only let you do 7 cards on Windows, but I haven't tried it on Linux. And I also I have Hive OS, but I don't have 7 AMD or 8 AMD cards at the moment. So I don't know why she's basing everything on 7s. Top GPU cards. Here we go. As a rule, one rig should include 4 to 7 video cards. 6 or 8 video cards. Miss Perez, come on. It's a number that will not go beyond the framework of the stable operation. Although there are exceptions, miners can connect 10 to 15 GPU cards to one motherboard. Technically, we could do a lot more than that. But But 7 is the optimal number because Microsoft Windows 10 operating system can detect only this number of cards. That was in the past. I'm pretty sure we can go above 7. Anyways. But there is a solution. And I even did a video, 2 videos, on if you're bumping into that issue. If you are at 7, you put your 8, 9, 10, and you're getting code 12, code 43. I have a video out for that. But there is a solution. Specialized mining software based on a Linux kernel. In this case, the key is to choose the right motherboard, such as the ASRock Pro BTC series or similar. Determining which GPU cards are best for mining is not so straightforward, as the answer depends on the amount of money that the miner has. In general, it makes sense to buy the most expensive, powerful GPU for the price of 2 or 3 slightly weaker ones? No, wrong. As there is a greater chance the cheaper ones will bring more benefits due to their low power consumption and initial cost. In general, it makes more sense to buy the most expensive. In general, it makes little sense. Okay, all right. Thank you, God. I read that wrong. She's correct. It makes little sense to buy the most expensive, powerful GPUs for the price of 2 or 3 slightly weaker ones. It really depends on what you're trying to do as a miner. Are you trying to focus on Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Dubai Coin, Raven Coin, Swap, Bitcoin, BitTube Cash? Once you identify the projects you want to support, or if you're just auto switching just to get Bitcoin, then yeah, all right, 1660 Supers on the NVIDIA side of things. Honestly, that's a good bang for the buck GPU. AMD RX 580, or 5600 XT, or 5700 XT. Another one for NVIDIA. Let's think real quick. So 1660 Ti, 1660 Super is roughly the same thing. Another good NVIDIA card, good price to performance, yada yada. What are we thinking? 1070 Ti if you could get it for a decent price? Or are we going to go above that? 2060 KOs are okay, but I would say honestly the 3080. But that's more expensive. The highest income in mining is currently achieved with the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 and the AMD Radeon 7 cards, but it's most profitable to build a mining farm with AMD Radeon RX 580s and GTX 1660 Supers. Good job, Miss Perez. But the 2080, just take that off. The highest income in mining is not the 2080. It is now the 3080, and she wrote this article on the 25th, a month after the 3080 launch, so she should have paid attention to the latest news. It should also be kept in mind that AMD RX series GPUs cards can be flashed, changing the working time of the RAM memory, downvolting the core and overclocking. Programs such as MSI Afterburner, Sapphire Tricks can assist in making these manipulations, which will help GPU cards achieve maximum performance during the mining process. First off, MSI Afterburner and Sapphire Tricks do not allow you to adjust the memory. If you want to indulge or dive deeper than that, there are programs from Igor's lab, like the More Power tool or the RBE Red BIOS editor, that can allow you to tweak the memory, and then you use MSI Afterburner or AMD Overdriven tool to adjust your GPUs. I wouldn't use the Sapphire Tricks, but it is a program that you can use. After purchasing mining equipment, paying the cost of electricity during its operation becomes the main expense that directly affects profitability. The energy consumption of one mining rig consists of the following components. GPU cards, depending on the power and mining algorithm, consume between 360 watts to 1500 watts for a rig of 6 to 7 cards. The motherboard power unit, HD, and RAM consumes up to 100 watts, and the cooling system uses from 20 watts to several kilowatts when using air conditioning systems. Yashnik, what's up, buddy? Yeah. Some of the data that Ms. Perez is basing her information off is outdated. Because I'm pretty sure Windows doesn't have... It obviously has a limitation, but that limit back in the day, I think it was like Windows 7 can only do 4 cards, Windows 8 could do 6, and don't quote me on this, I could get my numbers wrong. But like as you progress and Windows 10 did updates, that lock or that feature got removed. Let me check chat. Max voltage, yep. Red Panda did just get the 19 working in Windows. So you got 19 GPUs working in Windows. Yashinik has 12 running on Windows. And he did that 2 years ago. Although it did run better in Linux. Correct. No problem, Rabbit Mining. Thank you for joining us. I usually do my show early, and I know a lot of people aren't up, especially if you're on the West Coast. So, for example, when mining Ethereum, she continues, the main thing is to overclock the video memory. The most optimal operating mode for GPU cards is setting the core to about 830 to 850 millivolts for AMD cards and 650 to 850 millivolts for NVIDIA cards. Lowering the voltage on the core of the card, in addition to reducing power consumption, decreases the amount of heat, which is beneficial. But the voltages for the NVIDIA is not accurate, and the voltages for AMD really depends on the card, what you're doing, and the software that you're using. Power generating units, again, power supplies, can also use less power if they have a gold certificate, which means that they save a large amount of electricity, about 15% compared to power units that lack them. Another way is to change the hard drives to solid state drives, good job, which will increase the speed of loading then operating system and reduce the power consumption of each rig by 5 to 15 watts. Furthermore, modern memory, or DDR4 or DDR3L instead of DDR3, and processors can reduce consumption by 10 to 20 watts. Yeah, you don't even talk about the processors in this article. What processors should I use? Well, a dual 2-core CPU or 2-core 4-thread CPU will be perfectly fine. Low watt, low TDP, because we're going to be using a stock Intel cooler fan, which doesn't disperse much or doesn't cool as much, will be perfectly fine for our needs in this mining rig. There's a lot of details that need to be corrected in this article, and there's a lot of information that was left out. But she did hit some key areas. So this is just a plain Jane one, I guess, to dumb it down for the masses. But there is a lot of information that needs to be said. And Elena Perez, great job on the article, but definitely hit somebody up in the mining community. Just talk to them. Ask them some questions. So that way when you make a new article in 2021, it's filled with informed, accurate information. I know every miner has their own spin or take on things, but it's definitely 6. The most common mining rig is going to be 6 cards or 8 cards. It's not a power unit, it's a PSU. The best GPUs for AMD, as I mentioned, is the RX 580, the 5600 XT, the 5700 XT. The best cards for NVIDIA is the 1660 Super, 1660 Ti, and let's say the 3080, but yes, it is a higher cost. But the 2080 Ti, to me, for the price that it's at, is not worth getting it for mining. It's not even worth getting it for gaming, at least not now. So that's the article. Check it out in the description below. Let me know your thoughts, not only in live chat, but in the comments below if you are interested. Now let's move on, now that I lost about 10 viewers, to the AMD goodies that we are looking for. Yeah, BBT got 21 working. Actually, let me check something out real quick. I typed in twit, not Twitter. Let's see what he's doing. Everybody's got their predictions, man. Should I do a video on my predictions for the AMD mining performance, the new GPUs and stuff like that? Let me know. I mean, Vosscoin already did one. Red Panda already did one. I already posted my information that I predicted. I can't find BBT's stuff. But yeah, he's got 21 working, or he got 21 working. Oh, this is nice. I just realized this. Look at this. 14X Radeon 6900 XT. He's talking about the V-core being at 790 millivolts. Memory set to 50% overclock. He's guesstimating 86 mega hash at 220 watts. And 100 mega hash at 300 watts. With 14X at 1200. Oh, dang, that's good. So that's his numbers. All right, let's leave this up because I did grab Red Panda's information too, and I'll go over my speculation and thoughts in this video. But let me know if I should do my own dedicated video to my speculation on the performance of these GPUs. AMD has announced this past week RX 6000 series, where we have the 6800 coming out in December, the 6800 XT and the 6900 XT coming out on November 18th. So these cards are going to be juicy. Video cards put all the data together for us and stuff like that. The specs, you know, we're going to have the 6900 XT. I like those core clocks, really. I really like those core clocks. The Infinity Cache will help us out in mining. Who asked that question? Max Voltage? No. Somebody else asked that question. But yeah, the Infinity Cache should help us out. Yeah, Max Voltage asked. Red Mining, before I continue, says he's got finally got 5700 XT Sapphire. Been messing with it and having some fun, mixing it in my 3090X gaming YouTube rig with an RTX 2060 KO from Nvidia, LOL, until I get my frame to show up. So you got both cards in one system. That's cool. Make it a live stream so we can all debate. Okay, Max Voltage. I'll try to get a video together for that. Upon all the other stuff. This past week I've been super busy. Matter of fact, I am still on call right now, and tomorrow I'm gonna be super busy. But I'll see what I can do for everybody. Let's mark this for Monday. All right. So the 6900 XT is going to come with 80 compute units, has a game clock of 20. You know what? We don't even care about that right now. Infinity Cache, or 128 megabytes, GDR6, 16 gigabytes, 300 watts. AMD's price to performance should be better because they have set the bar high. Rather, they do enable ray tracing, which doesn't do us any good. They focused on price, performance per watt, so they made their card more efficient, which is what we want. That's exactly what we want. And they guesstimated, but this guesstimation might be a little bit different. They guesstimated based on using certain attributes that only AMD can use. The 6800 XT comes with 72 compute units, same 16 gigabytes of memory and 300 watts. The 6800 though comes with 60 compute units, but TDP is set at 250 watts. Imagine if Igor's lab, just like I did with the 5700, comes out with another power play table. Red BIOS editor team works on it because it is RDNA 2, right? So it is an architectural improvement, but it might be still the same. So we might be able to use those same tools, or Igor's lab and the Red BIOS Rebellion. I can't remember their actual name. I'm sorry, guys. The Red BIOS editor guys make an update, and now we can modify these 6800, 6800 XT, 6900 XT. That's gonna be sick. Modify the timings, bump up the clocks, increase the performance, not only for gaming but for mining. That's gonna be off the chain. So you can see here the whole list. And the compute units is something super important. The 5700 XT came with 40 compute units. 6900 XT is double that. Now that may not be double the performance because we got to take into account the memory clock or memory bandwidth and the memory bus, which I'm disappointed with 256, but it's whatever. But those compute units are going to be helpful. And the streaming processors, you can see there 5120 versus 4608 versus 3840. we're definitely going to see some decent performance improvements from Radeon with the 6000 series GPUs. I do want to test the smart access memory with this motherboard and a 6000 series GPU, but just be patient because I have a feeling scalpers are going to be in full swing. Hopefully AMD can drown the scalpers with overload of supply so real users can get their hands on it, but we're just going to have to be patient on this one. 6900 XT is going to be around $1,000, while the 6800 XT is going to be around $650, and the 6800 XT I believe is going to be around, actually let me hang on, where is it? Where's my prices? The 6800 XT is going to be, to me, look the best, and I think Savage Mind said the same thing to me. Where's the prices? Why are you not showing me the prices? Yeah, ask me any questions in the live stream and I'll get back to you. $649, right. But the 6800 is what? 6800. Why are you not telling me the 6800 price? That's stupid. I'm looking for the 6800. There you go. 500. So that's too high for the 6800. It should be 500. 6800 XT, yeah, whatever. 650 competing with the 3080. 6900 XT competing with the 3090. 1000. So $500 less and get 3080 performance. But you only get 3080 performance if stuff like rage mode or smart access memory is being utilized. If you're using it in an Intel system, you may not get that performance. So there's a catch-22 there. If you went all AMD with a 6000 series, you're going to be able to unlock the full performance of the GPU against the 3090. But if you're not, and you're using an Intel-based system, you're going to be held back a little bit because you're not going to be able to leverage certain items or built-in features of the AMD GPUs. $6,800 is definitely going to be the sweet spot, but that's why I'm saying imagine if Igor's Lab and Red BIOS Editor updates come, and then you can unlock that thing. Even if it only has 72 compute units, it's only 8 less than the 6800 XT, and it's, you know, what, $80 less? No, it's $150. Yeah, it's about $80 less. And you can get that extra performance. Same thing I did with the 5700. I had the 5700. Igor's Lab put out stuff. I did the mod, and then I got 5700 XT level of performance. The only thing that was holding me back, though, was the streaming processors. I can only get a max of 58 mega hash, while people with the 5700 XT can get 60. So it's 2 mega hash difference. Sapphire and Gigabyte released their versions of the card, and boy, don't they look different. Exact same. So AIB cards, doesn't matter if it's Gigabyte, Sapphire, or directly from Radeon, they're all going to look the same initially at launch. AIBs will come out with different model versions. It's just going to be a little bit after launch. It probably won't be till end of 2020 or early 2021. Just FYI, so be patient. But looking at the benchmark, you can see how which one is this one? The ADCU compares against the 3090. Yeah, 3090. Why does this one not? Why does TimeSpy not have the 3090 in here? Or is the 3090 and they just have a typo? I don't understand that. But basically, 3090 level of performance for $500 less. But again, I think that performance stems from them leveraging certain features that are only available on AMD platforms. This is going to look good though, man. I like the demo that they had. AMD's killing it, man. They're taking over the CPU space. They got both major consoles and the GPU market. I bet you NVIDIA, that's why NVIDIA canceled the 20 gigabyte 3080 and stuff. They were like, oh, we didn't know they had all this. No, we got to do something different. We got to do TIs. We got to do TIs. Crypto noob, I can't either. I can't afford to buy the latest cards, but got a good deal for my 3X RX 470 mining edition 8 gigabyte. 73 pounds each, brand new. That's a good price. It's a good price. Rapid Mining wants a 5950X for Monero. His 3900X has made him $50 a month so far after paying power, while not gaming or making videos. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, Ryzen's good at CPU mining. Intel, not so much. Uses too much power, too much heat. So AMD CPUs are better for CPU mining. Can I add it to cart? I want to add it to cart. Can I continue? I want to add it to cart. So yeah, November 18th for the 6900. Whoa! I got that backwards. The 6800 XT and the RX 6800 on November 18th, and the 6900 XT on December 8th. I can't get the 6900 because I don't have $1,000 to drop like that, but I am gonna try to get the 6800 XT and the 6800. However, because of freaking bots and scalpers, it's gonna make it hard for me, and it's gonna make me mad. They drive me up the wall. And you know what's messed up? Some of those programs that they're using actually got mitigated because Best Buy and Newegg did make updates to mitigate those bot programs. But there are other programs that are better and can still surpass the security restrictions that Newegg and Best Buy are implementing, which sucks. Sucks. So we're kind of SOL on that. But AMD is going to be providing us AMD Infinity Cache, AMD Smart Access Memory, and again, the performance per watt efficiency is really what's going to be what we as miners focus on. Here's why. Let me do some math for you. Rapid Mining says it's cool they're getting a hold of both markets, linking CPU and GPU to boost each other. Just hope they don't get far ahead and shoot the prices up because they can. Yeah, so they're shooting the prices up because they can. Because they are better and getting better, and people are willing to pay a premium for higher price. I mean, we've been doing that with Intel for years. So they already know it. That 54% though, performance per watt improvement, I want you guys to understand their testing doesn't show the full picture. We don't know the system they were using. We don't know everything, and some of the slides are confusing. For example, some of the slides, let's see if I can find one real quick. Some of the slides would say like with rage mode on, or with smart access on. Yeah, see, look. So not every slide's the same, and you can see the performance gain just from having rage mode and smart access memory. But again, these aren't going to help us in mining, so we can't count those performance numbers. However, without knowing the full picture, obviously, like I always say, wait for independent reviews. We got the tech tubers coming out. When they do their independent reviews, we can actually, as miners, kind of put pieces together to identify what the actual hash rate's going to be. I'm sure somebody will actually start, like Dizzy Mining will put out that information, which I didn't get to show the 3070 mining performance. Max Voltage, did you link that to me? Dizzy Mining? Mining performance of the 3070? But The 54% is not accurate in my eyes. This is what I would do. I would take the hash rate of the current generation. So let's say the 5700, not the improved hash rate with the BIOS modding, mem modding, all that stuff, but the actual hash rate, we'll say 50 mega hash, and I would add 35% to it. 67.5 mega hash. That's the 5700 jumping to the 6800. So the 6800 should get 70 mega hash. Bisbee tripping here. He's talking about the 6900 XT. Red Panda Mining says the 6800 should get 70 to 90 mega hash. To kind of bring it down or kind of constrict it a little bit more for you, I would say 6800, just the non-XT model, should get 70, let's say 68 to 75 mega hash. Can't tell you the power yet, because even though each GPU is rated at 300 watts, except for this one, which is 250, I can't tell you until I get my hands on it. Now let's do the 6800 XT and do some math. Add 35% to the hash rate, the original hash rate. So the 5700 XT could get 52, 51 mega hash without any modding or anything like that. We add, I would say, because the increased compute units, let's say, that's almost double the, so 40, we're going to do 40%. Okay, we're going to do 74 to 80 mega hash on the 6800 XT. And on the 6900 XT, because it is double, we don't have an original to go off of, but let's just say, let's use the 62 mark, add 40%, 86. So 80, let's do 85 mega hash, 85 to 92 mega hash. That's where I think each card will hit. At what wattage is a different story. I can't tell you. I know that on the 5700, we can get into the 115 watts, but that's modded. So stock, let's say 125 plus, even with the performance per watt, let's do the same 35%. Let's say 160 watts. The 6700 or 6800 XT, let's say 130 plus 180 watts, and then this one would be 200 watts, probably a little bit more than that. Just speculation. Live on stream with you guys, but we'll have to see. I mean, gamers are going to have a field day with these GPUs. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. And Savage Mind does have his data in here, which I thank you, Savage Mind, for putting all this information here. But that's pretty much it. Like, we have to wait for these GPUs to come out before I can definitively tell you anything. Let me save that. I'm going to play that towards the end here. Alright. So Savage Mind has the 6900 XT, 6800 XT, and 6800 by itself. Here's the prices: 580, 649, 1000. I should have saved that. He just plugged in some numbers because we don't know the actual hash rate. But based on the price to estimated hash rate, here's the price to performance in hash. What I'm concerned about is these numbers right here. hash per watt. I think if we were able to plug in the actual hash per watt data, we see 0.39 at the current numbers we have. But imagine if instead of 70 mega hash, it was the 100 mega hash that Bits Be Trippin' is suggesting, or 86 even at 220 watts. 86 at 220 watts. .39, and that's exactly where he has it, 0.39. But let's say we're able to get 90 mega hash at 200 watts. That bumps it up to 0.45, which is actually good. You look at the, where's the 5600X? Look at where it's sitting, 0.38. Oh, he's plugging in some numbers. He's making changes on the fly. But realistically, you want to be 0.4 or higher of hash per watt, but it's really up in the air. Until we get the cards in our hands, we really can't tell anything. Rapid mining, you're getting some crazy prices, bro, on some stuff. You got some decent power supplies, some decent graphic cards for really cheap. Oh man, and not to mention we still got Intel dedicated graphics cards coming out in the future. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be super interesting. I wonder how they're going to do. As far as mining, it's probably going to be a pain in the butt because the miner devs are not going to already have it coded to utilize the GPU's architecture and stuff like that, so we're going to have to wait. But let's do some more speculation real quick. So 6800 XT based on my numbers. Let's say we're able to get 75 mega hash at 180, that's 41, and 85 mega hash, oh wait, 60, let's do 68 divided by 160, 0.42. So that's not too far off. I mean, I know Red Panda's got a wide range here, between 70 and 90 mega hash, and then Bits Be Trippin' has some numbers. I think the wattage might be lower, actually. Rather than 220 watts, I think it might be a little bit lower. Even though the card's a 300 watt TDP, I think it's going to be a little bit more efficient than that. But we'll have to wait and see. I would love for price wars to happen, Rabid, because then we could actually get decent hardware for decent prices. Like, I don't want the computer hardware segment to turn into the hypercar segment, just because I can sell my Bugatti at $1 million plus doesn't mean the Ferrari and everybody else should be selling their stuff at $1 million plus. Just because I can, Intel can get away with selling a processor at $650 doesn't mean AMD should be selling it at that price. I mean, unfortunately, the price of hardware has gone up so much that most of us can only afford the mid-range. The high-end enthusiast segment, which is a segment that I like to be in, I can't afford anymore. Not unless I sell my crypto, and I don't want to sell my crypto because I want to use it. I believe in something long-term, and I believe in the project long-term, and I want to retire. I'd rather retire early than sell everything I got to get the latest hardware. On top of that, too, I don't want to upgrade my system until maybe, DDR5 comes out. Or maybe we do adopt the new power supply standard for ATX motherboards and PCI 5.0 is out. Right now, the 9900K setup that I have with the Z390 Hitachi Ultimate is perfectly fine. Perfectly capable machine. I would like to take Joey's motherboard and get the 5900X, but even the 50, to get the 5900X on November 5th and then turn around and get 6800 XT on the 18th, that's just too much money for one user. If I was sponsored or if I had a company working with me, great. But unfortunately, I don't have that connection as some people or so many do. I'm working on it, but I haven't heard back yet. So if I do get hardware, I'll do the same thing that I've been doing. I would test it not only in gaming performance, but I would test it in mining performance, test it in efficiency, share my data like I do on Reddit, and then the community can make their judgment on that. But I'm excited just for the competition, just the fact that AMD is bringing the heat to NVIDIA, and then and kicking butt in the CPU side with Intel. They are doing good. I'm so happy for them. Savage Mind says the performance of the 6800 will probably be incredible for ETH. I think it will too, bud. Radeon Mining is guessing around the 0.45 to 0.5 efficiency mark. Well, imagine if we did, get Igor's lab and Red BIOS editor to modify, and we can play with power play tables, stuff like that. And let's say that we can hit 75 mega hash at 160, 150 watts. 75 divided by 150. That's crazy. That's crazy good. The unfortunate thing with these GPUs being at the price that they are is that means the 5000 series may not go down in price as much as I was expecting, unfortunately. And Savage Mind is inputting some data now. You can see here we got 0.42 efficiency for the 6800 XT. And Savage, as I mentioned, it probably would be 0.45 for the 6800 if we're able to do 70 divided by 160, 0.43 maybe, or 72 divided by 160, 0.45. All speculation. I wonder if you can have like a area where it's just like speculated hash rate and speculated wattage, but we'll have to see. You do it however you want. It's your chart. I really love this chart. I talked to Savage Mind offline last night. Really good guy. Likes to work with you. And has a lot of good information and data. So I really appreciate Savage Mind as a whole. I appreciate everybody in the crypto mining space. Alright, let's check out this video from Dizzy Mining. This is him mining with the 3070, not 3700. 3070. That just recently came out. Looks like stock clocks are apparently what's showing. Let me go ahead and full screen it for you guys. See if you can see that. Getting 51.3 mega hash right off the cuff, right off the bat. See the core clock's at 1965. What's the power? The power is at 200 watts. Woo! Yikes. I do this show every Saturday, guys. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys became regulars and come in and join me every Saturday morning. I try to have special guests on, but I don't always get the opportunity to, or special guests are unavailable. But really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for 2 hours before Red Panda Mining comes on. It is kind of a talking head video. You're more than welcome to just, let it play as you do your work or as you do whatever, and comment when you feel good to, or available to. But I appreciate you guys coming around. $51.6. Alright, he hasn't changed anything yet. Let's see if he changes some variables. So 51.6 mega hash at 200 watts. Stock clocks. Wow, increased the memory to 1500. Did that not crash? It's getting 63.3. He minus the core out. You should have put the core back to 0. GPU power is at 130 watts. That's not bad. 130 watts, 63 mega hash. It's not too bad. Let's take a look at that before Red Panda comes on. So let's say 63 mega hash, 130 watts. Harbor cost, let's say $5.25 after shipping. Calculate. You'll be earning $1.19 a day minus electricity, $1.50 before electricity, and you will break even in over a year, 440 days. Not the most efficient, but it's not bad. $63.3. He should really drop the TDP. He left the TDP at 100, but because he dropped the core so much, it's only 130 watts. There's some more tuning that could be done with that. Yeah, there's some more tuning that could be done with that, but 63.3 isn't bad at 130 watts. So, what do you guys think? AMD is going to kill it with this AMD launch or GPU release? What did helpful crypto miner say? What did he say? Helpful crypto miner said something that caught my ear. Saturday morning. Can't fill the void. Something, something, something. There it is. So, what did he say? SMCN for short. My Saturday morning. Except Saturday morning crypto news. Oh man. Anyways, that's pretty much it for me today, guys. I'm just hanging out till Red Panda comes on. Feel free to join his live stream as he normally does his crypto mining rig showcase. I need to stretch out, do some exercise. Got to go to Home Depot, get some stuff to repair. 3080 is going to a good home today, and I can't wait to build on the ASRock B550 Steel Legend. So I got a lot of work ahead of me. I'll bring you content as we move along. Steel Legend motherboard's pretty legit. Got some pretty cool features. I don't have the buttons I like, the power on and off reset buttons, but I do got the Dr. Debug LED to help me out. I do already have a cooler. I got memory, hard drive. We need power supply. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but using the latest 5000 series Zen 3 CPU, we can leverage additional performance for gaming as well. And I will be bringing those tests to you when I can. As I said, this computer is being built for Joey, and it is ultimately going to be his to have and to hold. I'm just going to be using it for testing and content, and I'll get that to you as soon as I can, all right? But I hope you guys Got any last minute thoughts, last minute questions before I let you guys go? Let me make sure I link the Discord one more time to you guys if you want to join. Discord link is being posted in live chat. If you're interested in getting into that Discord, join us next week for the next live stream. Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Red Panda Mining's got a bunch of what I would call faithful companions. I do not. I have a bunch of followers, but not faithful companions. Savage Mind's pretty cool. Crypto Mikkel's pretty cool. Doge Lord's pretty cool. Nemesis, Nefarious, all those guys are pretty cool. We communicate with each other, but stay positive, guys. Hopefully this world will get better. 2020 will get better for everybody. Let's see what's going on in the world. Don't let the NSA spook you. Seth is big on privacy. So is Crypto Mikkel. And a big XMR supporter. Let's see where the market's at. Still around the same level. 13.8. 13.7. Just bouncing around there. Just have to be patient. Hopefully we can close this day basically at 13.9. That would be nice. But we'll have to see. So I hope you have a happy Halloween. Don't spook too many kids. Be nice. Take care of each other. And I'll catch you guys later. Hang out. Watch Red Panda Mining. Oh, he's going to be late for 5 minutes. Will Bitcoin hit 15K by Monday? No. That's a sexy motherboard. Oh yeah, I've seen that before from Asus. I just don't like the fact that not all the AMD boards have a front Type-C connector. I would like to have a front Type-C panel connector. Bits be tripping doing some yard work. That does look pretty. Wow, man. It's crazy. A lot of good hardware in 2020. We usually have to wait 3 years, but we got one every 2 years. And I mean, the 5700 only came out last year. When did the 5700 come out? RX 5700 release date. Yeah, last year. And then NVIDIA RTX 2080 release date. So it's been 2 years for NVIDIA and only 1 year for AMD. AMD's killing it. They're putting in some work. And I'm so happy for what they are doing. You guys are crazy. Alright, well, Red Panda Mining is running behind. I was going to try to entertain you till you got on, but I'm just going to get out of here, guys. You take care. I'll see you next Saturday. I'll try to have a special guest on and see what happens, but thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging with me, bearing with me, being patient, and take care. Have a good day. Hit the like button on the way out and subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Can't wait to play around with this. But it sucks. I gained one child.